Hello, and welcome back to Brit Reviews It All. I am here with the newest episode review on Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is season 7, episode 15. It's called Love Means Never Having to Say You're Sorry. I always wonder who comes up with these titles. The scriptwriter? Anyway, the summary. It reads, Andy and Hayden make a shocking discovery on the Marie Willis case. Danny seeks advice on how to best apologize to Tony. Okay, I'll start with Danny. Let's start there. Okay, Danny. She went to Zach and Fatima, or maybe specifically Zach, I think, to ask for some advice on how to apologize to Tony. I felt like I missed something. I thought the last thing that I remember seeing is that Tony came to her with a flower to apologize for the way he reacted while she was at work. And now that's what I recall seeing. But she didn't immediately accept it. So I'm wondering, did he get upset about that and then it made him mad again? I'm so confused. But yeah, so that's what I was kind of curious about. I'm like, what? But anyway, so she talks to Zach, of all people, about some advice on that. I just thought that was a terrible freaking idea. What else? I don't know, Danny. I just felt like I wouldn't have really went that far, but I mean, she eventually was able to get a hold of him because he started trying to be more professional at work with her, and just not kind of acting like his normal self, how he was acting around her. And then in the end, and this is actually at the end, she goes into his office and he's like, Danny, you need to knock or whatever. And she's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And at this point, she's about to start getting undressed. And then this woman walks in army fatigue. And I was just like, okay. I guarantee you that is the mother of his children. And lo and behold, she gonna say his wife, whatever her name is, and he was like, ex-wife, blah, 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 whatever her name is. And I'm just like, yeah, boo, you tried it. Don't even do that and try to make her feel like she's like a whoremonger or something. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds right. Okay? Anyway, so what that means, we are about to get the first interaction between Danny and Tony's ex-wife / baby mama. That's going to be very interesting. Can't wait to see what that's going to be about, how that goes. But yeah, so I'm wondering if she's popping in because the daughter may have told her about those handcuffs. I'm just curious. Okay. Other than that, what else was going on with this episode that was worth even talking about? We know Hayden and whatever her name is, I can't even remember her name, Jasmine. There's this whole thing going on. This girl done recorded her and Gary doing adult things, and he is not happy about that. Gary, by the way, of course, because now she has something on him, and he's gonna have to try to figure out how to get that away from her. But I'm just like, is she going to try to use it for blackmailing purposes? I mean, what's going to happen there? I know she did tell him, like, yeah, okay, moving forward, honey, you want to be messing around with me, you're going to have to come up off something, and it's going to cost you some big bucks. So we ain't just finna be just doing no hunky-dory. You're going to have to give me, I got to get something out of this. Because what else is she getting out of that other than Gary? Anyway, yeah. Moving on. Gary is still doing what Gary is doing. He wants to know what's going on with Andy. Gary is really mentally disturbed. You go back on that episode where the guy the mole that he has, working for Jordan, was telling him about Andy and what she had on and all this stuff. Like, he's gonna start touching himself. I'm like, this old man is on the phone. That's a man's voice. Yuck. Ugh. So that just furthermore reminds us that he is, not only is he just mentally disturbed, he is still very much, he wants Andy. He really does. And he's really angry that she's with somebody else, and that he can't have her. And I'm scared a little bit that it's going to become, if I can't have you, no one else can type of scenario. Like, he's, I don't know. What's going on with this guy? I don't know. Anywho, um, what else was really going on this episode, y'all? We know that Sabrina is still doing what she's doing with whatever that man's name is. I don't even remember his name either. But she's still messing around with him. I do remember at the end he asked her, hey, are you still taking birth control? And I'm like, dude, you need to just go on and tell that girl what happened. You really do. Because you're going to have her thinking God knows what. I don't know. I feel like Sabrina's going to end up pregnant by him, and it's going to be an issue. I'm really not sure if it's the fact that he just didn't want to have kids right at that very moment, or he just doesn't want children at all. It's very weird. But we're going to have to see, because Maurice is over here saying, hey, Calvin is a single man. If you want to have a child, he'd be willing to be the sperm donor. And I'm just like, red flags, because Calvin is not going to be the type of person to just donate his sperm to you and not be involved with the child. He's definitely going to want to be involved. So that is not going to be the best thing for you. Moving on. Well, no, not moving on. Scale that right back. Sabrina, I'm trying to figure out how it's going to work are you just freezing your eggs? And then, she decides she wants to take it to the next step, and you're still with this other guy. He doesn't want kids, but it's like, if he's in a relationship with you, that means he's going to be, you get where I'm going with this? I don't know. Tyler, where are you taking us on this one? I'm trying to follow, but okay. Moving on. Andy and Hayden have their whole little thing going on with the Marie Willis lady. And Hayden is doing what he always does. He's trying to make Andy look bad. Even though Andy, I thought for a second, like, boo, you slipping big time. You're letting your personal life mess with your business. And you got to stay focused if you want to be this big time boss chick that you know you are. And keep up here and keep rising to the top, honey. You got to get it together. You letting Gary and all this other stuff get you distracted. But Andy came back with the powwow. With the pow-pow. Not the powwow, but the pow-pow. She came back on him and was able to share some additional information that Hayden's team did not uncover. And that made her look very well with Marie Willis. I do want to see what's going to happen with Hayden because there was a scene at the end for what's going to happen next. Marie Willis was standing in the background and Hayden did not know it, and he was sitting there talking crap to Fatima, talking some big time crap, and baby, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that, and if she's going to give him the business and kick him to the curb. But it's going to be hard to do that because Andy, she has been very wishy-washy and not on it, and she's got to get it together. She's going to lose out on something great. Let's see what else. Karen, I mean, I guess with this episode, she didn't really work my nerves that bad on this episode, I will say it. Finally, because it's almost every episode. But on this one, she didn't really work my nerves. I mean, she was being her usual stubborn self. Why I have a hard time remembering their names. The other baby daddy that's not Zach. Whatever his name is, he popped in again, but this time he popped in with this top of the line stroller for for twins, for two babies. I couldn't remember if Karen had already told her mom, but obviously she knows. And baby, when I tell you, he got with her this time. He dropped his cojones, okay, on this particular scene and let her know, look, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be a great father to the both of these children. You just, and basically saying you're gonna have to get with it. And her mom and Karen was just stuck. And her mom was just like, honey, you know, basically she was like, you heard what the man said. You need to chill because you about to mess up something, and this is a guy you don't want to push him away. Okay, but he can't be overbearing. He really can, and he always has been. But oh my god, and whew, Lord have mercy. Anyway, this episode wasn't all that crazy. It pretty much for me was just like a filler episode. So we're gonna have to see what's going to happen moving forward. Gonna keep following. I'm trying to follow you, Tyler. I'm trying to follow you and see where you're taking us with this. But I just want to make sure you close some chapters before you start opening up new doors. Okay? Close this door before you open up this door. Close this chapter before you go to the next chapter, please, because you got us like we all over the place. Just saying. Well, all right, y'all. Thank you for watching. I will be back with another episode next week. If they play one next week, we shall see. Thank you. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And I will continue making my videos. Bye, y'all.